Hey, look, we're live.
Yeah, boy.
Yes, we should start. Hello, Yana. Thank you for
Hello.
doing this with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, this is going to be awesome. You're probably the biggest star that we ever had on this podcast.
It's really exciting to hear, although I think I'm very small, but I appreciate it.
Yes, but you're a star. Like you're a star to us.
Thank you.
And you're a gamer.
Yeah.
And you're a streamer.
Yeah.
And you're a product manager.
Yeah.
What else do you do? You studied architecture.
Yes, I did. Yeah. I paint.
You play games.
I play games.
You paint.
I paint, yes. Sometimes I try to do cosplay, but it's not going very well lately. I'm not doing a very good job.
How do you measure how well is that how that goes? Like
because
what's the measurement?
If it takes me more than a year to finish a costume, then I'm not doing a really good job. No, seriously, it takes me like 1 year, half a year to do a costume. If it's a big one, it takes me like 1 year because I work over 200 hours for a costume. If it's a smaller costume, it's a lot easier, but yeah.
But like, do you tailor it? Like, you have to build it. I would assume that you can buy some things. Like you can buy
I do buy some things.
You can buy the accessories, right?
I do buy some things, but try to imagine army stuff, right? Like knights with pauldrons and like big weapons. You see that sword on in the back there? I made it myself. So it's not a lot of sewn stuff.
You made a sword?
Yeah, I did. It's my biggest achievement yet. Yeah. So it's more like army stuff. So you make it from foam. You don't necessarily sew it. Kind of like build it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Like, yeah. You could eventually become a blacksmith.
Yeah, that would be my dream, actually.
That would be a dream.
Yeah, I was like building stuff all the time. Yeah. So
do you like? But that means that you like doing things with your hands. Like you like building stuff and like.
Yeah, I do.
Right. So is that a thing for you?
Yeah, I find it really relaxing. Honestly, I like the process, and I also like wearing costumes because I always make costumes that are either male costumes or just very heavily armored people. Because there's like that meme about women, what the fashion industry thinks we want and what we actually want. I actually really want to have a big army knight-like costume. So it makes me feel really powerful after I finish them and wear them. And I wear a mask, nobody knows who I am and stuff like that. Yeah,
hey, listen. There might be like we didn't know this, but there might be a fire drill in that building. Just
really.
So like, if I go away, can you hear that?
Oh, okay.
oh shit! Oh, hang on. So this is going to be interesting. It's saying we got a fire in the building. Like I cannot believe this. We got a fire in the building, and we're supposed to evacuate.
Okay. Yeah. You should evacuate.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that, but I'm wondering, like, is it for real, or is it like?
Or is it a test?
Yeah, is it a test?
You should evacuate no matter what.
You should evacuate like right now.
Yeah.
This is gonna be crazy. Hey, people right now on the stream, if the building doesn't burn, we're gonna be back eventually. But it's like they're saying like you have to go now.
You should just go. It's okay.
Yeah, this was like my chance to start them. So we're gonna end the stream now.
Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be back. Hey everyone, we're back.
Hello.
We're back. It was nothing burnt down. It was just a fire drill. That's good. That's good. That's the good stuff. Now everybody's gonna come back. So yes, still getting to become a star. So look, I'm really fascinated by the fact that you do so many things.
Okay.
You do. So we were discussing before this that you are a product manager by day, right?
Yeah.
So you have an understanding of what it takes to build something like a product, and then you do software product management.
Yes, software.
Okay, but then you also play games. How much you were mentioning that like your streaming is almost like a part-time job.
Yeah, pretty much. I treat it very seriously, but I still treat it as a hobby in a way. It's my passion. So it's a huge passion. So I invest a lot of time in it.
Yeah. What else do? You do charity? So
Sometimes, yeah.
yeah. So let's actually start with that, because you've raised a lot of money for
Different
you've
charities,
done,
yeah.
yes, for a few charities, but more specifically, you raised money for Teach for Romania, and that's a
Yeah.
great charity. Those guys are doing amazing things.
Yeah, they were very cooperative too.
So what did you guys do? Like they were what was the project?
So to give you a little history, the first charity I ever did, I did as a kind of like closure, because I did it for an US charity, because for ALS, because my grandma had ALS and I really wanted to do it, and whatnot, right? And after that, things kind of organically progressed. I really liked doing charities. It made me feel great, and somehow I felt like the community was very involved in this. And obviously, because I'm Romanian, I wanted to support Romanian charities. So I started looking for charities and really cool NGOs in Romania that I could support. And I found initially little people. Actually, the first thing I found was like a center helping children who came from, uh, you know, like poor families or
Mm-hmm.
orphans and stuff like that. And after that, I found the Little People
Little people,
Association,
yes. The Little
and
People
after that,
Association.
Teach for Romania. And I actually reached out to both NGOs directly, because it's a bit complicated to set up a fundraiser via stream, and I wanted to be able to send all the money without getting any taxes and stuff like that. So
Wait, hang on. Are donations taxed? How
so
does that
the
work?
basically, if you do like a fundraiser through a stream, you would like to have like the engagement. You know, people feel a lot better when you see the donation and stuff like that. So the way I set up my first charity, they would donate to me. I covered the taxes of the donations coming to me, and then I sent the money freely to the charity. And then I found platforms specially designed for fundraising and streaming that do this for you. So they act as a proxy. So you can see that someone donated to your charity or whatever, but the money goes straight to the charity. And I wanted to reach out to the charities to make sure that we can set this up a lot better for them. Yeah. And generally, I do charities. Initially, I would do them in December, Christmas, and I would do them for like a month. So for an entire month, everything I got, including revenue I would get through Twitch, I would donate forward, and I would do stuff like, I don't know, just like cosplaying. We're doing art stuff. We're doing community games. We're doing IRL streams. We're cooking streams. So I had milestones. Whenever we reach a milestone, I would do something for the community, and people really like loved it, because I would put so much more effort into these streams than I normally do, right? And they're like, oh, when are you doing the next charity? I want to see the next charity, because I also don't have donations on stream at all. I only put my donations when I'm doing charity, right? And
Wait, hang on. So how you don't get donations? So you don't get money out of your streaming?
I do, but
Okay.
not through direct donations.
Okay.
There's multiple ways to monetize the stream, and on Twitch you can get subscribers and bits and stuff like that. Everything is through the Twitch platform, but you can also get donations through PayPal or whatever. And I don't have those donations. So if someone wants to subscribe to my channel, they can, but I don't have like the normal donations. And there's a lot of people on Twitch who like to donate, and I don't. I only put my donations when I do the charities. Somehow, thinking as a marketing person or whatever, I in a way feel like they're more inclined to donate if I only put my donation by when I'm doing a charity.
Sure, because it's a special event. Yeah, sure, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But so okay, but I think that kind of speaks to how much like you are giving money to big NGOs that are changing, or it's mostly focused on education. The stuff that you do is mostly focused on education, because I was reading like one of the projects that you were working on was digitizing education. I
Yeah,
don't know if that was the one with Teach for Romania,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, that was it.
That was the actually did multiple charities for Teach for Romania, and Vodafone at some point joined in to help us and double the sums and stuff like that. So I think we did like 3 events in total for Teach for Romania, and then Little People actually helps children suffering from cancer. They help like with therapy and stuff like that, and like support during your treatment and after treatment and going back, and like if you overcome, obviously cancer, getting back into society and finding a job and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I like to Teach for Romania as a charity because I think education is really important, and probably if as a people we would be more educated, life in general would be a lot better. So I feel like education is the root of the problem, a root
For
of
sure.
many problems, actually. The
A
root of
root of
many.
many problems, indeed. Like, oh look, the more educated people are, the better problem solving they do, and it increases everything. Like, it increases your entertainment value, it increases your status in society, it increases your quality of life, it makes
Yeah.
you less
Yeah.
sick. Like, it's better in so many ways.
Yeah.
So yes, let's get people educated, and you guys are actually doing that. Like, you are contributing to this. Like, it's your community that's doing this, right? It's you and your
Yeah.
community. It's not like are you bringing additional people in when you're doing a charity, or is it you and your community?
I mean, it's mostly the community donating. I recognize 90% of the names of people donating, but we occasionally get people who specifically search for charity. So these people on Twitch who specifically search for charity streams, and they want to support charity streams. So yeah, but it's the
Wow.
community. I have an amazing community, honestly. I keep saying it so many times. I feel like I'm not really a big streamer, but every time I do a charity, they just like come through for me, and I set a milestone and they like blow it out of the water. I don't know if that's the expression, but they overwhelm me with the support they give, and I'm like, trying to figure out new milestones and new ways to thank them and make everything more interesting. So yeah.
You keep saying that you are not, like, this is part-time, that you're not, this is more of a hobby, this is more of a passion, but you are the winner of last year's, like, you're the content creator of last year for the gaming marathon,
I
right?
don't know. I won. I'm so confused. I don't know. I feel like I could do so much more. I'm really obsessed with becoming better. My entire life, I've tried to, become better, do more, evolve in my career and everything I do. And I watch my stream with a very critical eye, and I realized I could be doing so many more things if I had time. Like if I had the time to do streaming every day for 8 hours, I would have so many ideas and so many things to do, but I can't. It's really hard. But yeah.
Is it the time? Is it the effort? Is it what is it? Is it the fact that you've already chosen a career as a product manager? What is it?
It's a combination of things, but I would say the most important reason why I don't want to be more serious with streaming is because I really believe that. So I feel like I'm very privileged because I have the job that I have. I have enough money to sustain my passion, right? So I don't have to look at streaming as something that sustains me financially. And if I reached a point where I would have to stress about getting money through my stream, I would probably not love it so much, It wouldn't be, it might become like a pressure for me to look at the numbers every month. So I'm just doing whatever I want to do. If the numbers drop, if people don't show up, I don't know, if something happens, if I can't stream, I just don't pressure myself that much if I do it. If I say it's a hobby,
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. And it's indeed, there's a difference between hobby and passion.
I know.
I don't exactly know what it is, but I do know that I had this conversation with a friend, and I think it's like hobby. It's something that you do over and over, and you become better at it. And where passion is like, well, I'm kind of into this, but I don't pursue it and everything. Yeah, it makes sense. Like, it takes, making it a job takes all the fun out of it, especially if it pays your bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd also, like, you remember how they would say also you'd become commercial? You remember how they would say like that about rock bands? Like,
Yeah.
the latest Metallica album, that's so commercial.
I think the balance is very, very difficult to maintain, honestly.
What if, yeah, I mean, I guess there's no scenario in which you do this full time.
No, I would never do it full time, honestly. I've never considered. I mean, yes, I sometimes think about doing content creation full time and stuff like that. But I would not seriously do it,
Yeah.
honestly.
Because it's beautiful, like in so many ways it's beautiful. I was looking at some statistics, and this kind of takes us to how big this community is. And like you have a what, 1,200 people?
Yeah, I have 1,200.
Which is a lot.
12. How do you even say it in English? I don't know. 1,200. Yeah, I think. No, it's more than that. 12,000.
12,000. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
yes.
really good at English. Yes.
Yes. So am I. You're definitely better. But that's a lot of people. Like that would be enough people to test a game for 2 to 3 months. Like if you were to do user acquisition,
yeah,
you'd get those people, and that would be very, very, and it's free. Like you got a lot of potential, and I'm kind of looking at it as a.
Sorry about my boyfriend in the background, but
Yeah.
it's okay. Yeah, I would like to point out that I do have 12,000 followers or whatever, but I've been streaming for 4 or 5 years, so they're not always active. You have people always following you on the platform, but they don't always come into the stream. So you have an average, so there's like 3 metrics you look at. It's your entire followers, right? And then when you stream, you look at your unique live views, how many people during the duration of the stream came into the stream at any point of the stream. And then there's also average concurrent viewership, which means, for example, how many people are watching us in this exact moment, right? So my average in like concurrent viewership is around 100 right now. So it's a lot of people.
A lot of people.
Yeah, these unique people coming in every day. But there's like so many content creators that are really, really big. Like they have 2,000 concurrent viewership or stuff like that. So yeah.
How big is the Twitch community?
The Romanian one or in general?
Yeah. Well, both.
Apparently, I just read the statistic. There's at any given point, apparently on Twitch, there's 1 million people watching live streams.
That is a lot.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That is a lot.
I think in Romania at peak hours, there's like maybe 8,000 to 10,000 live at any given moment.
That is a lot of people. And like, because I'm like connecting the dots, going back to what we were discussing earlier on, using this mass of people to do things, especially things with social impact, like charities.
Yeah,
that's a lot of power. That is a lot of power that's happening, and that's kind of being channeled through games.
Yeah, it is. Isn't that beautiful? People come together, right? Because they love games and they're beautiful, and like they do beautiful things together. And obviously, gaming is more than just a hobby or something you do as a kid and then grow out of.
Yeah, it's interesting how it was regarded like that for a long time. Like it's something that you do for, it's making games. We have the stigma in the industry, in the game development industry. Like a lot of people don't look at it as a serious industry. I was just reading the statistics of how big the market is. Gaming overtook film and music. So the film and music industry,
yes,
it got overtaken in 2016.
Yeah, I know. I actually have what I consider a very interesting story in this regard. So at my previous job, I was doing a lot of marketing, and we were working with a lot of US companies. And at some point, they sent us a mentor, right? Someone who's really good at marketing to teach us and mentor us and stuff like that. He came over to Romania, and he sat us down one day, and he was like, I went to this amazing convention, and like the CEO of some game company, he came on stage and he showed us all of the statistics of the gaming industry and how much people spend and how much they play, and like the way people react towards a game. They don't say, I play this game. No, they say, I am a gamer. I am a MMORPG player. They like really identify with this. And there's so many things that happen from a game. You don't just play the game. You love, you experience the game. You buy comic books, you read books about that game, you cosplay, you make music, you make fanfics and stuff like that. So like people are really involved in this. And he was like, he came over and he's not a gamer like at all. And he was so impressed by this entire phenomenon. He's like, dude, we need to buy an esports team. We need to get into gaming. We need to start today. Yeah. And he also told us that at the conference, most of the people listening being just industry experts and like marketing people and stuff like that, they didn't really get it. They had a lot of questions like, oh, how do I make sure my kid doesn't play too many games? So it's kind of like, dude.
Yeah, well, but you know what? It's like games are no longer for children. That's the thing. Like even if you look at the audience, it's like 40% are 18 to 35. Like almost half of gamers are 18 to 45.
Yeah.
Which is like your average. That's your adults. Essentially, these are like the biggest ones. And then you have like below 18, you have like 20%. So I don't know how you're seeing this, if you're seeing this in your community.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. I have a lot of community members that are over 30. Actually, I have community members that are 50, some of them.
50?
Yeah.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, I even know streamers that are over 50 and stream. Obviously, gaming is for everyone, in my opinion. If you grew up with a Sega or whatever, Atari, MS-DOS, doesn't matter. If you grew up gaming, chances are you're still gaming, in my opinion.
Well,
so,
if you play the game at any point, you're a gamer. Let's get that out of the way. And like people, and if you're playing, like people go like, oh, I don't have a PC, I don't play games. But then you play on your cell phone, or you play tabletop games, you play board games, you play Magic the Gathering, you're a gamer.
Yeah, obviously you identify with it, so I completely get it.
Yeah, there's 2 billion people playing games right now.
Really?
Yes. Well, not concurrent users, but people who identify. Yes. We break the internet, but like 2 billion people that identify as gamers. And then how many on Twitch? Because you mentioned that earlier.
1 million at every given moment.
1 million at every given moment.
So that means like it's really hard to actually calculate this, but it's a lot more every day. I would Google it.
Yeah, because it's growing. It's constantly growing.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you look at how big the market is, it's like $100 billion. Like that's billions.
Yeah.
So because we were discussing earlier on that back in 2016, the gaming industry, gaming, let's make this distinction. It's the game development industry.
Yes.
Because we're not talking about gaming. So we're not talking about Twitch. We're not talking about YouTube. We're not talking about content creators. We're not talking about hardware. We're not talking about, that's gaming as a whole. But then just game development alone did 100 billion. It's huge. That's probably the biggest entertainment industry that is happening right now.
Yep.
It's not for kids. And then you have the breakdown between consoles and PC. And are you like, you're a PC master race?
No, I play 2 consoles as well. I actually played some mobile games on stream too.
What do you stream from mobile?
I have a capture card that I connect to the phone. These capture cards are designed with software specifically to capture your phone and everything. There's something for everything if you want to stream.
Yeah, so are people, this is new to me, that people on Twitch are into mobile games. It kind of makes sense that at some point Fortnite was a mobile game. I kind of understand where this is coming from, but
I'm not sure what the statistics for Twitch are, but there's a lot of YouTube content specifically on mobile games. The industry is really big.
Yeah, it's huge. And like I was reading that Epic just raised 1 billion, well, maybe more than 1 billion to put in their metaverse project. It kind of makes sense. Like they started testing with Fortnite. You remember? So how many? It was like 10 million people in the Travis Scott concert.
Yeah, I heard about it. Honestly, they're so good at marketing. Can you believe it? I just find it so amazing that the fact that Travis Scott was in that thing, or that Ninja played with Jake, it's just legitimizing gaming into mainstream. because people before were like, oh, games, no thanks. But now they even have actors studying in games, you know. Like you have like that super well-known actor, which I forgot the name, I'm sorry, who played in Death Stranding. And
Death Stranding, yeah.
Yeah, so you also have like series spin-offs from games, and it's really interesting. The more games will be taken into mainstream, I feel the more they will be accepted in general by the public.
I think it's already mainstream.
Maybe.
It's already mainstream. I mean, if people are watching concerts in video games, it's already mainstream.
Yeah, true.
I think there's no denying it right now. And it kind of like, it's not only that, but you guys have social activities in games, because this whole metaverse concept that Epic is, and we should probably not get into this because it's just Sweeney's long-term vision of madness of turning the whole world into Ready Player One. But it kind of makes sense. This is here to stay. Like, games are here to stay, and they're trumping everything right now. They're trumping music, they're trumping film, and it's causing a lot of change. Like, I think there's a lot of people that are growing up with games as their main cultural input in many ways. Because I didn't grow up with games. I got my first PC when I was 16.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm really old.
Wait, sorry. I wanted to ask, how old are you?
I'm 37.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
you look a lot younger. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Tell me more. But that was so I only got. And did you grow up with a PC?
I got my first PC when I was like 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
What? So that's like what?
MS DOS. Wait, what? No, I'm obviously 17.
Yeah. So what were you playing back then?
Prince. I mean, I don't remember everything, but yeah, I think I played the first Prince of Persia and stuff like Doom, like the really old 1994 Doom, and Wolfenstein and Captain Claw and Chaz the Jackrabbit. Man, I don't remember all of the games. It's been a long time.
Yeah, that's crazy. You started way back in the day.
Yeah, I never stopped.
What's your favorite game ever? You never stopped?
Honestly, so it's such a hard question. A lot of people ask me. My absolute favorite, but for really nostalgic reasons, is called Gothic 2. So it's one of the first. It's basically called Eurojunk. Eurojunk is generally a game released by a European developer that is just like kind of budget and kind of so somehow broken and not great, like not AAA quality or whatever, but it has its like beautiful, unique appeal. So that was Gothic. It was one of the first RPGs, and I was like so amazed by the fact that you can actually go through the world wherever you wanted and do whatever you want, because games before were a bit scripted, so you have like levels and stuff like that. No, you could do anything you wanted in that game, and it was so well written, and like the way you interacted with the world, it's just like with the people, they felt real for me. I actually cried at the end of the second Gothic game. But
I think they made a remake of the first one.
Yeah, they're working on it. It's not released yet.
It's not released yet? I hear it's not that.
Yeah, it's I don't know if it's, you know what the bigger problem with doing something like this is, you're gonna get a lot of really nostalgic people, and no matter how good you do at the game, people build on that nostalgia. So maybe the game was actually trash, but they, at that moment in time, it was so great for them that they remember it being great, and every year they remember, oh, it was so great, you know. And they make this like false idea that the game was so great, when if they would replay it again, they would probably be like, what is this 200 pixel cutscenes and stuff like that. So it's really hard to please nostalgic people about a game they treasure a lot, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. And Gothic is a cult classic. Like the whole series, but especially the first 3 ones are cult classic, and people love them. But I think there's still games. I think there's games that really manage to bring themselves to the 21st century. Like, I'm a big Deus Ex fan. Like, and you know the meme, like whenever someone brings up Deus Ex, someone installs it.
Yeah.
Because the original game was that good. It was made like it was made by Warren Spector, and he's like one of the pioneers of game design and generally the gaming industry as a whole. Then they took it at ADOS and they made it into the next, well, the third one and the fourth one. They were good. They were really, really, really good. I played those and I enjoy them. And I think there's more. I think that there's Doom.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
obviously a resounding success.
Yeah. No, yes, it is. It's just it's like it's the kind of game you play when you have a really bad day at work and you wanna punch someone, so you go in Doom and you blast the music and you just kill monsters and just feel good about it. It's just a really classic, beautiful experience.
It is,
Yeah.
and it's beautiful because it's like a game design masterpiece, because they essentially took everything that was good about it, the very stylized the very stylized violence, and then they turned it into something that's playable, and that's 21st century.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Yeah.
If you look at it, it's just a collection of arenas. You go from one arena to the other, you kill everyone, you get your bonuses, you advance to the next arena. So it's like a really, really simple progression, but it's so well executed.
Yeah,
and it's executed on top of a very good feeling of that nostalgia that you're talking about. It just makes people happy.
Yeah, it's a good game.
It's one of the best games that
I'm not that happy with the last Doom, honestly. The previous one, 2016, was great, in my opinion. It was perfect. I feel like they did a not the best job with the last Doom. It was okay.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think they no longer got Mick Gordon to make the music, which is it's kind of sad.
Yes.
Like, you know what? I still listen. Like, I listen to the Go Run. I put
Me
on.
too.
I put
Yeah,
on
when I cook and like cut vegetables, I'm like, oh, repenter. Sorry.
You can see, like, I can see with a knife listening to Mick Gordon's dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, this is it. Games are right now a culture phenomenon.
Yeah, I agree.
This is it. I'm wondering how people, like, what happens, kind of going back to what we're discussing, what happens when people grow up as gamers? Like, if there's literally 500 million people that are growing up with games right now, I'm wondering, and you've probably seen that, you're seeing people in your community, I'm assuming, growing up to be adults.
Have I grown up?
No, people ain't like. No, but you're seeing gamers grow up to be adults, right? Are you seeing something different? Are they different in any way, or are they just becoming?
I think they're not putting the cable on the kids. Maybe. Seriously, my mom used to pull my cable on me when I was gaming. What gives? I feel like obviously I would assume, because I don't really know that well, but I would assume the gamer parents of tomorrow will first of all understand the value of games, right? Because they did grow up with them and they were in some way impacted by games. And they would probably be more understanding towards kids wanting to play games. So I would expect a highly game educated parent choosing games for his kid. Okay, you need to play this. This is really good, right? And somehow, like, maybe understanding that the child would want to career in games at some point. Maybe why not? Because for me, it wasn't really an option. You needed to be either a doctor, a lawyer, an architect, or something like that. You know, they was like, wait, right? Nah, game, nah.
Well, I think people are still having a hard understand. People are still having a hard time understanding what it takes to make games. I don't think that yet. Like, it's not super well defined. Like, we're still figuring out in the industry. But you were part of the so you're part of a lot of you were part of at least 2 campaigns that I know of bringing more women, well, actually bringing more people, and especially bringing in more women into the gaming industry. That was you did the Her Own Game one. I think that's like beautiful, because it kind of overthrows some those, what do you call them, dogmas that you were mentioning earlier.
Stereotypes, maybe, I don't know. Yeah,
you should grow up to be a doctor, you should grow up to be an architect.
I feel like this is a very special generation where a lot of people just break out of the mold. they maybe study a university and never work in that profession. And there's like so many emerging job types. Like what I'm doing right now was not really a job 10 years ago. You know, it's just you acquire a set of skills and somehow pave your own career. But obviously you need some guidance in this. So I would not say you need to be defined by a specific profession. I would say it's really important to acquire a skill set that will allow you to do what you want to do in your career.
You started to be an architect, right?
Yeah.
Did you really want to do that?
Yes, I was. Yes, I was very artistic, I would say, when I was a kid. And my sister was training to become a doctor, so I obviously had to get an equally important job. No, but I really liked it. I actually trained for 2 years in drawing lessons, and then I did 6 years of university. And in my 4th year of university, I actually wanted to give up. I did not want to finish uni. And then I was thinking about everything I actually went through, and I decided to finish it. So architecture, and this is something I really have a problem with, honestly. I didn't really know what I was signing up for when I went to architecture university. You know, I thought, oh, I'm going to draw really nice, like plans for buildings and homes and have my creative input and blah, blah, blah. When in reality, people had a really fixed idea about what they wanted from the projects. And there's a lot of stuff I don't want to talk about. But in parallel, I was working, right? So I started working when I was like 16, and I somehow got into the marketing industry at some point. And the reason I did not go with architecture is because I was just doing so well in my job. And at the same time, I had to give up so much in university to be able to have that job, you know, because I wasn't really attending every quiz and stuff. It was really hard. And I kind of decided to go that way. And for a while, I felt bad about not pursuing my actual career. But then now I feel like I made the right decision. And I know there's a lot of people who finish university and end up working in something completely different. And I just feel like this is the way things work in life sometimes. So maybe it would have been a lot more helpful if I received guidance before applying to university, because we're talking about 6 years of someone's life, you know? So it's a really big responsibility to choose the right university. So maybe we could offer guidance and help people find the right career for them. What exactly does it mean to be a game developer, for example? Can someone please show me? I don't need to see the quiz material at university. I need to understand how that job will be.
Would you have chosen anything else?
I don't know.
Because you didn't have well, see, I think this kind of goes back to what you're saying, kind of goes back to what we're discussing. Like, people know that games exist, people don't really understand how games are built. Like right now, you know that you need a director to build a movie, you need a cameraman, you need a sounds person, you need etc. Like, but people don't yet know how to make games. How did you choose to become a product manager? You were really into marketing, you mentioned this, but then did you like grow into it? I know how it was
I
for
kind
me.
of grew into it. I love learning new things all the time, and I like new challenges, and I don't like being the smartest person in a room. So whenever I feel like I don't want this to sound arrogant, but I left my previous job because I reached a point where I could not evolve anymore, right? And I decided I want to try something different. Not completely different. Obviously, it's still connected, but the workflow and the way we did it was really different, and it was scary. And I'm still new. I mean, my product marketing experience is 6 months, right? But I learn a lot, and I understand these things. I guess I don't know.
How come you're not a games product manager?
I don't know. I actually had offers to work in some indie game development studios and stuff like. I don't know why I didn't do it. It's maybe one of my mysteries. Maybe I don't want to mix games with my. I don't know. It's a really hard question.
Yeah.
I like techie stuff. I like the SaaS industry that I work in. I like really technical things, you know? So I don't want, I just see myself as a very separate person in my career and in my stream. Because in my stream, I and like gaming in general, I can be a really deepy person who is very challenged by difficult games and stuff like that. But at work, I am like very technical and very serious about everything I do, and like I just like having this separateness in my life. I just disconnect after work, and I just like go play my games, and it's great.
And you have people watching you. Like, why do people watch you?
I don't know.
Why do people watch other people play games?
No, I know, actually. I know the answer to this question. I mean, this is my opinion. Yeah, so many people are like, oh my God, how could you watch a streamer playing a game? And every time I'm like, how can you watch someone play football? You're not playing football, you know? Why don't you go play football yourself? Why do you watch someone else play football? There are many reasons why you would watch a gaming stream. Obviously, first of all, would be with a parallel to football, they play really well, right? You want to see how they play. Maybe you want to better yourself. Basically, what they do in a game is kind of like a show for you. Another reason would be entertainment value. Some people are really great at doing gameplay walkthroughs. They're really funny. They make voiceovers. They have like like there's so much production value in what they do, and the voice acting and the way they perceive stuff. And another reason would be the social aspect, because people love games. If someone really likes a game, they could talk about it the entire night, and they're really invested in it, as I was saying earlier, right? So they just want to find someone that loves that game as much as them, so they can love the game together. Now, there's nothing more beautiful than talking about the same passion with someone. And when this happens, people feel more close. There's like this connection, you know? And at some point, it kind of like becomes, in a way, a friendship over the internet, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys are really doing things together.
Yeah.
Like except for donating and making things happen, which is social impact.
Yeah.
And like you're probably earning a lot of karma points. But then as I was watching your stream, you're building costumes.
Yeah.
You guys are discussing. You guys are playing new games.
Yeah.
Like how come you're not selling games? Like you have a lot of people. Here's the thing. Every is that a question that you get offered?
No,
Hey,
it's
Yana, can you
like
sell my game for me?
I'm a very honest person, and I would never sell a game I don't believe in, honestly. So, and actually, in every sponsorship I also get, I wouldn't sell something I don't believe in. So I really like Romanian indie games, right? I always play Romanian indie games. So I'm never gonna try to sell them. I'm just showing them. If you like it and you want to support it, great. Now, when I'm playing games, and I have received some offers to play some games, I always tell them, if I don't like the game, or if there's something that's not okay with it, I'm gonna say it. I can't not say it, because people watching my stream, I assume, trust my taste in games. I do game reviews. I would never. So maybe I have seen. So when I was playing Divinity at some point, and I hope nobody in chat laughs because they say it's a really boring game, but it's insanely good. It's such a good game. It's just really boring to watch. I would always praise it on stream. I was like, dude, this is such an amazing game. It's so good. It's so complete. It's so blah, 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 blah. And I had people sending me private messages. I got the game. I'm playing it. I love it. I got the game. So I would never, try to sell a game I don't believe in.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like just pure cultural exchange.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, it's just exchange. Like you'd go into a book club. Like as dorky as that may sound, but that's what book clubs back in the day would do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. But like you still have the power of community behind you.
Yeah, of course. It's much better marketing, in my opinion. So if I were a marketing manager or whatever for a gaming studio, I would always try to approach the micro influencers instead of doing really big ad campaigns or stuff like that, because on streams, people have a very close relationship with the streamer, and generally the community trusts the streamer a lot, right? So when you market a game through a streamer, even if that streamer has 30 viewers or 50 viewers, 1,000 viewers, he's gonna play that game and he's gonna comment on it a lot. He's gonna say a lot of things about the game, and just by doing this, people watching him or her will get a much better impression of the game. Because I just feel like you could have such an effective campaign by targeting 40, 50 streamers, each with their own community. But obviously choose the right communities. If you're selling an RPG, for example, don't go to a MOBA player because his community will not be interested in RPGs. Go to the streamers that are very specifically tailored for the type of game that you're trying to make.
Yeah. Do your user acquisition properly? Yeah. Because that's a big thing, and it kind of ties into another thing that I wanted to discuss with you, like how the gaming industry is similar to the game development industry. One of the things that you're mentioning, that you're going to target people, like, yes, each, you know this, you're doing marketing, but like whenever you do a marketing campaign, you target specific users and can kind of say, here's their persona, here's their age group, and so on. And if I'm understanding this correctly, you're saying this can be done through Twitch right now, through the power of streamers.
100%. It's probably the best way to market the game. Not every game can be marketed, obviously. I can give you so many examples of games that have blown up because of Twitch. We have Phasmophobia, which is like an indie horror co-op game. Honestly, if you look at it objectively, it's kind of trashy. Like they don't even have animations for half of the stuff the characters do, and it's like kind of creepy. But it's so fun to play with people, and it's so fun to watch that it's been selling so well. And there's another example of Valheim, which is another kind of like an indie game. It's a bit scuffed, but the Twitch community kind of started playing it and people really loved it. So they started buying it. And there's Among Us as well. So there's a lot of games. So for example, Among Us was released, I think 1 or 2 years ago, and nobody played it. Nobody knew about it. And I think Soda Poppin at some point picked it up, and then he started playing with everyone, and everyone started playing it and buying it. And the same thing happened with Valheim. It's just like, but again, not all games will have this impact, you know. It really depends on the game as well, the idea, and it's really hard.
Are you doing anything with game developers apart from playing their games? So one of the things that we know from game design theory is that you should test as soon as possible. Like whenever you have something, like even when you have the concept for a game, this is something.
Yeah.
This is kind of new to us in the industry as well, because it just happened as games are becoming a service, and everything is connected, and you can prototype super fast, and marketing is evolving as well. Things are evolving to the point where, like, when you just have the idea, you can test the marketing message and see if people are interested in playing that type. Like, are you interested in playing a Counter-Strike clone with tanks? I assume that would be World of Tanks, right? You see how many, you put an image, you create an image, a marketing image, you get your marketing message, and you test it, and you see, you do a simple test, like a click-through test. You buy 500 users and you see how many people click it. Like that's like the simplest test that you can do.
Yeah, I
but
get
then it goes to much more complex testing. Like, you want to test gameplay, you want to test your meta game, you want to test your balancing. Are you doing anything in that realm?
Not really. The farthest I got with this was joining like a jam indie session where they made games right then, and we were playing the games after they made it. But the game was like 24-hour game that you played the secondary stuff like that. And sometimes I ask my community what kind of games they'd like to see me play, but no, I have not. I did play some alpha versions or beta versions of games, but that's pretty much it. Nothing else.
I'm surprised. So I'm surprised that people are not reaching out to you and saying, "Hey, Baabuska, can you show this game to your community and give us feedback?" Like,
I mean,
it would be free.
Yeah, I do get some requests, but I don't always answer them. I get requests, but I don't always answer. Yeah, I don't always answer. I can't always play. There's so many games. I'm a variety streamer and I play so many types of games, and some of them I just don't believe in, honestly. So if I don't like the game, I'm just not gonna even try it. You know.
Are you working with RGDA? Are you connected to those guys in like Romanian Game Developers Association?
Yeah, I'm actually. I'm in the Discord group, but it's kind of like an informal thing. So they just the devs. I think they like me. I'm not sure. I think they do, because I always try to play the games, and you know, even if it's not a great game, I won't trash it. I won't say really bad stuff about it because I know how hard it is to make an indie game. Honestly, like having a 2-man team or a 1-man team trying to do an indie game, I feel like so complicated. So I try to be nice to them. I generally trash AAAs, to be honest. So if there's like something I find completely unforgivable in a AAA, I'm just probably gonna, just be rant on it a lot. But yeah, I'm in the IGDA Discord survey, and I always follow their releases and always try to play the games when they come out, and I share them with my community. I did some interviews with some of the Romanian devs, and I really try to help them as I can, obviously as much influence as I have, but it's so hard to market an indie game. So
it's why do you say that? Like, I'm intrigued
because
about
the
that.
market is super saturated.
Okay.
I think there's thousands of games coming out on Steam every day. How many people with a 2 or 3-man team, how many people can you hope to reach or impact? So I've seen so many indie games. I actually follow so many indie games, and maybe 2 or 3 out of them really succeed, in my opinion. Most of them just don't make it, either because they're not seen, either because they're not maybe original enough or maybe not polished enough. And who can blame them, honestly? It's an indie game. How much polish? Like the really good examples, the winners in indie games, I can name a few. I don't know if you know about Hades, right? It's exceptional quality. It's a great game, amazing music, insanely good aesthetics, great experience. And there's maybe Ori and the Blind Forest and I don't know, Stardew Valley, I guess. And Minecraft, I think, was indie. So there's a few really good indie games. But do you know, for every successful indie game, there's probably at least 1,000 unsuccessful ones.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's a really tough market.
It's a super tough market, and it gets even tougher when you go to mobile. Like, depending on your platform, it gets tougher. As the bigger the platform, the more difficult it is to stand out.
Yeah.
It's 25 games per day on Steam, not counting the early releases. Like 25 finished games. Like, good luck with that. Good luck, because the average gamer puts in, like, at least for PC, they put in at least 3 hours a day into a game. Like, how
and
many
they play probably one game for like 3 months.
Yeah, like, good luck standing out on that.
Yeah, it's really hard.
It gets even worse when you go to mobile.
Yeah, it's so hard, I feel, honestly. I just like imagine you need to do the development, the design, the marketing, the community building. Whoa.
Yeah, there's some people, you know how we were discussing earlier on about Stuck in the Attic? Like, those guys did it all themselves, apart from the voice acting. But you can hear Livia's voice on.
Yeah, I know. I would like to. Yeah, I would say they're a successful example, in my opinion. But it really depends how you look at it, because I just feel like they have overworked themselves so much for this. Like they obviously perfectionists, and they spent 4 or 5 years releasing the game. I'm not sure if financially they got everything back, if that makes sense. But the game itself, in my opinion, was really successful and very polished for an indie game. I really enjoyed it. But yeah,
there's my friend Mihai Popa is making game. He's been making a game by himself for the last 4 years. It's an arena shooter, so it's like a mobile arena shooter.
Yeah,
it's not like you're well, there's not so many out there right now. Like, you have the one from Supercell, and then there's not many others. But like he was telling me, like, it's such a spiritual experience, because I got to learn. Like, he's a engineer.
Okay.
But then he said, like, I didn't code like this for a while I was working in the company that I was working on. So I learned coding again, and then I learned how to make graphics, and I learned how to make music, and I learned how to write. Like, I wrote dialogues, I created characters. Wow.
Nice.
Wow. Like, that's your purest creation experience ever.
Yeah. 4
years of that.
You need to be very passionate. I respect that so much.
And it's like, it's not guaranteed it's gonna make money. And I was like, why do you do it? Well, it's fun.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of got like, you're doing it for the same reason. Like, you're doing it for fun, right?
Maybe that's why some indie games are so great, because people do it when they do it from passion. They like really go the extra mile. I feel. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you should go the extra mile. Like you
should
have to go the
always,
extra
yeah,
mile.
you should always go the extra mile.
Yeah. So I'm curious, like going back to streaming, is it any, well, what's it like being a streaming girl? Like, how do you, like, what's it like being a woman in streaming right now, game streaming? Because I know for a fact that most Twitch streamers are males, and I assume that most viewers are males as well.
I actually have never checked that, but no, they actually not that many men. Yes, there's a lot of men, but you know, these feisty boys too, of course. But I don't know what to say. I don't know what my demographics are, to be honest. I would assume yes, there's more men, of course, but these very respectful men in my community. Okay, I'm actually very lucky. I feel very lucky. There's the occasional troll person saying really nasty
Chode?
stuff.
Did you say just say chode?
Troll, actually, troll. I'm sorry, troll.
Chode?
Yeah,
What's
I
a
don't know.
chode?
Did I? I'm sorry. I'm trying to pronounce it. Troll.
Oh, troll. Yeah,
Yeah, sorry.
troll. Yeah,
Yeah,
troll.
there's some people who purposefully come into my stream just to insult me and stuff like that. But I really don't care, honestly.
What?
Yeah, they
What?
do. Yeah.
Oh, what?
They come in my stream and they say, "Are you lost, baby girl? You should be on this adult website." Yeah, that's what they say sometimes.
Oh
I'm
my
literally
God.
like wearing t-shirts and stuff like that. There's just people coming in, oh, you're so ugly. And I'm like, oh, thanks. I try really hard to be this ugly. Yeah, but I don't really care, honestly.
It's weird because people don't act like that in real life.
No, obviously it's, they broke YouTube, in my opinion, when they made comments not be anonymous anymore. Obviously on Twitch, you're still anonymous. You just put that really weird, you put a really weird name.
Yeah.
And then you can say whatever you want because nobody knows who you are. And a lot of people are not doing it because you mean, they're just doing it to get a reaction. So people love getting a reaction, And sometimes I actually read their messages because I'm not very smart. No, I very seriously start reading their message. And while I'm reading it, I realize, oh, okay, I should not have done that. Yeah, but I really don't mind it at all. It's not difficult. If anything, it's a bit easier because the people coming into my community, I think actually, at least especially the men really respect that. In my opinion, I'm a pretty hardcore gamer, okay? I may not be good, but I play everything, okay? I play a lot of games and I finish them and I think they really like that. Right, guys?
You're talking to them right now?
No.
Yes. No. Yes.
I'm weird. It's okay.
I mean, but I'm assuming that you don't read all the comments, especially because it's anonymous.
Well, I actually try to read every message I get in chat, to be honest.
Read every message?
I try to, but it doesn't really work out every time. Sometimes I feel like I read every message and then I watch my VOD and I realize there's a lot of messages and I didn't see them. But yeah, I try to answer everyone as much as I can.
Because for me, like when I look at a stream and I check the chat section, it's just endless scrolling of people.
What streamers do you watch?
Yeah, well, I guess it does have thing to do with the amount of people that are watching at that point. Yeah, you're right. Because I was telling you earlier on, it's super difficult for me to do two things that I can talk, but I cannot read at the same time. I can
get you. But even if, for example, if you're a bigger streamer, there are ways if you want to be chat. You can put slow mode, or you can put sub-only chat, or stuff like that. So if you want engagement and you want to talk to people, you can still do it, even if you have a lot of viewers. But at some point, chat becomes like a phenomena in itself. Like people spam emotes. And they love it. They like spamming emotes. It's kind of like the collective thing that they do. And you don't really need to read all of that because you, as a streamer, if you're really big, you're going to say, chat, spam dance game or whatever, I don't know, some emote, and they're gonna do it and they feel involved because you kind of like they're reacting to everything you do as a streamer. Obviously, I've not made it that far. I'm just, but I'm just saying.
Why do people stream emotes? Like, oh, sorry, why did you just spam emotes? I don't get that.
Because emotes represent feelings. Okay. So sometimes you're gonna have a frog running away from its responsibilities. And then the streamer will say, oh, I didn't do anything for work today. And the entire chat will spam that little frog emote running away from its responsibilities because it's their way of interacting with the streamer and showing the streamer that they do and they stand.
Wow. And I assume it's also a very quick and easy way to interact.
Yeah.
Like is this simplified language
I guess,
some ways?
yeah. It's actually really fun to do if you get into it. You should give yourself the chance to try it.
To just go on chat and
and just spam whatever emotes chat is spamming and try to get the streamer. Yeah,
it's interesting because it generates emotions. I never realized that until now, but it's a form of interacting with the streamer.
Yeah. And actually, apparently, statistically, only like 10 to 20% of people watching the stream chat. Most are just lurking. They're watching you, but never saying anything. You never know who's watching you, by the way. So there's actually a very small number of people, chatting, but almost everyone reads chat as far as I've seen. So they want to know what the rest of the community. That's why it's live stream. That's why they like it, because they would watch a VOD, just a video. They like that live experience. They want to see how people react to what the streamer says or how the streamer reacts to what is happening in chat. That's really interesting for me.
Well, and you were mentioning this when we started. You were mentioning that you don't have any script whatsoever when you go into this.
No.
It's improv.
Yeah, I don't really say very intelligent things anyway. So I don't really take myself very seriously. I'm just gonna go on stream and tell people what I ate or what I did. Sometimes we go into sometimes we actually go into really deep topics. Sometimes. But I don't really script anything. It's whatever I feel or whatever chat feels, because sometimes chat will push me in a direction, Like sometimes the chat, which is an entity, it's not just text, it's people, they chat investing themselves in my stream. Sometimes they will say things that make me want to open a certain topic. We talk about something, we listen to a song, we whatever.
I'm fascinated by the fact that you just called chat an entity.
It is. Chat is an entity.
And it actually has a life of its own. As I'm the more I'm thinking about it, is because it's people that are interacting with you, but it's people that are interacting between themselves as well.
Yes, of course. And there's actually many streams where the chat makes the stream.
How does that work? Well,
because sometimes the way chat reacts to what the streamer does, that's the entertainment value in it. Like you're saying something as a streamer and the community will give you the jokes to it. You're gonna say something that will make you laugh. It's a really fascinating dynamic. If you really, it's really hard to explain. I feel like it sounds so weird right now.
It's interesting. It's almost it's borderline reality show in many ways, right? Because you're streaming, you're getting input from the people, you're kind of adapting what you're doing to the people.
Yeah. But you're not a streamer without your community, just so you know.
Yeah.
So you're not singing to an empty room. The people who are involved in what you do, they dedicate a lot of hours of the day to do this, or a lot of hours of the week to do this, So they're really important for the dynamic of the stream.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you guys do things together.
Yeah,
all the time.
Course.
Wow. Joanna, we've been doing this for at least an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really good. Thank you for doing this with us, and thank you for describing this amazing thing that is game streaming. We didn't get to cover game reviews. You also do game reviews.
Yeah, I haven't done it in a while. I'm really thorough in game reviews. If I do a game review, so I did a game review for Gibbous, And everyone was saying, "Oh, Gibbous is so much like Monkey Island," and I played Monkey Island
It's
just so I could,
nothing like that.
just so I could compare Gibbous with Monkey Island. Just saying.
Well, hang on. Is this how you discovered Monkey Island?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have known about it. I know it's a cult classic. I'm sorry. Okay, but yeah, you can't play all the games.
Do you think that at some point we're gonna be like, what do you mean you haven't read Dostoevsky? Like, what do you mean you haven't played Doom?
I really hope not, because there's so many really good games and literally not enough hours in in a lifetime actually to play all of them. So I'm just hoping people will be inclusive about their tasting games and their game experience. And like, I'm doing this thing in Millennium Monday where I play old games that I love that I never played, right? Really old stuff. And there's so many games I've never played in my life. Although I did play so many games, there's so many amazing gems I never got to. So
Is it called Millennium Monday?
yeah. It sounds good because it's Eminem, you know? Millennial Monday. I actually used to stream Tuesday, but I moved it to Monday, so it would be Millennial Monday, not Millennial Tuesday. Because Millennial Tuesday doesn't sound good. Millennial Monday. And people know they come for Millennial Monday.
So do people discover games as they're watching you? Like, do they discover old games as they're watching you
Yeah,
play?
we actually found about how great the games were, and we get really nostalgic. Also, I'm not a boomer. Jesus.
No, no. Maybe
You're a
I
boomer.
think I'm the one who counts as a boomer.
Yeah, you are a boomer.
Yes, probably am. We should end on that.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this with us. So I'm gonna stop the stream now. So goodbye, people. Thank you for doing AmberCast with us.
Thank you.
Joanna, thank you for doing this with us. And
You're welcome.
we're out.